We're gonna be talking waivers, do's, and don'ts this week. I'm co-host with the most. So we turn damn mic on, guy. Look, it's week 13, going into week 14 already. We got some college chaos results for you. We're gonna talk a little CFP selection show. We're gonna wrap up this past week. We're talking fantasy playoffs now. I mean, I don't know if they're starting for you yet, but they're about to. Definitely some must-win situations. Your questions, your comments, just like every week. And the thing that you all came to see in the first place, the co-host with the most, the best co-host in all the land, Mr. Roop. There it is. How you doing, bud?
Debatable, and I do want to get on my little horse. Maybe next high horse, soapbox, whatever. Maybe next year we'll come up with a better name, except crying in the corner. I do have a bone to pick with this past week. Let's put it this way: I'm in 5 leagues, and I went through the numbers and checked everything out. I scored 674.9 points. And my opponent scored 704.74. That's right. I lost every single game this week by average of 5.97 or a total of 29.84 points. 29 points. Okay, fine. You know, I went into Sunday night. I was up 25, 30 points. I had Dak Prescott and Dalton Schultz. I'm like, you know what? I feel comfortable. My opponent has Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, and Dallas defense. And let me
CeeDee Lamb had a good day.
They all had like 20 plus points each. And I just couldn't hang on. I was like, I could do it. And then the defense just.
But you had Dak going too? Wow.
Yeah. And I fell by 5.9 points that one, 10.4 another one, 8.6 another one. 3.08 for another one, 1.75 for another one. And I do appreciate that. My worst players were Derrick Henry, 5.8 points.
Yeah,
Michael Pittman.
That was everybody's worst player.
Yeah. 3.6. It all hit me. Cut Tyler Higbee, 4.5. We know that, when they get tight ends get 1.5 points to points. And then Derrick Henry a second time in another league. And to top it all off, I had Cam Akers sitting on my bench in one league, but the excitement of that is I was playing against him in another league for those 2 touchdowns that Cam Akers somebody decided to put him in and screw me over across the boards. It was a phenomenal time. So Depression Mondays is maybe what we'll call it, but one of the worst outings I've had in a while.
That's pretty fantastic. What did you guys have happen? What was your big beat? Henry, of course, is going to be a part of that for a lot of people. Long time no see for Rob. It is good to see Aurora as always. Nice to see you too. Glad to see you back, Rob. Let us know your horror stories from this weekend. And of course, we'll get in your questions and comments. You guys got anything to ask? Watson
we'll get
sucks.
into that.
Yeah, well, we kind of knew he was going to in week 1, but all may not be lost. I don't know. We'll see.
I knew I went on the soapbox there, so I would have hand it back to you and say, how was your week? How did you do? How are you feeling? Because it was terrible for me. It was worse than the Sooners loss for me.
I split probably. I think I went 3-3 across. Could have been better. I definitely had one lineup mistake, but I didn't have Henry in anything. So, Aurora was gonna win. Same thing. Football gods did not help her, and she falls as well. If Rob wants the Browns to pick Baker back up, sorry, the Rams beat you to it. I don't know why. For God, somebody tell me why. I actually kind of thought San Francisco might go after him, but look, and that's the thing. Like,
it's part of my notes. We're not even there yet.
This week, you've got 5 teams on bye. You've got Jackson go down. You've got Garoppolo go down, who are 2 of my main 3 starting quarterbacks across all 6. I have 3 starting quarterbacks across all 6 leagues. They're Garoppolo gone, Lamar gone, and Hurts is one of them. But Hurts I only have in 1 league. So mostly it was Garoppolo. I think I had Garoppolo in like 4 leagues gone.
So you have a solid forward movement into the playoffs, and you're good to go.
Oh yeah, no. If I'm even making the playoffs in that league, but yeah, the good news is is that I lost in almost all of those, so I should have, a nice waiver position, and so I should have a nice beat on Goff going in. He's my number one waiver quarterback right now. He's got Minnesota this week, and it should be nice. But the thing is, I'm probably streaming quarterbacks for whatever remaining weeks I have left to play.
And it wasn't even, the icing on the cake of all of that is the guy that I lost to by 5.9. He actually took my spot in the first round bye because I was in that spot originally. So I still have a small sliver of chance to make the first round bye in that league, but I need him to lose, me to win, and that's it. And I can make it. So, and I'm playing.
So not too much help.
He's playing
winning you're in
4 or 5, and I'm playing the guy in the top of the league who's outscoring everybody. So,
ouch.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
So I'm gonna get that.
So I'm gonna lose in the first round of the playoffs. That's what's gonna happen. That's what I feel right now. So if anybody else has the pain of that, knowing 2 weeks out that next week after this fun last week before the playoffs, knowing you're gonna lose first round of the playoffs, it's gonna suck. That's where I'm at right now mentally, and I don't even want to go to waivers. Is there anybody out there for waivers? I mean,
not really. I mean, Goff is your best bet. People are going to say Mike White, but I'm telling you, Mike White, look, he has 3 games over 300 yards. Everything else, he sucked. He's like under 250. Those 3 games over 300 yards, you had the 2 big ones. You have one from last year, one from this year. We had the 3 touchdowns. Of course, last week he had no touchdowns. So that's what you're looking at. I think he had like 17 points, 19 points, which isn't horrible for a fill-in. But Mike White is on my fantasy no, because there's other guys out there you can get. In most leagues. Yeah, in most leagues. You can stream Tannehill, you can go after off, who's probably going to be the number 1 quarterback on waiver wire this week, but which is going to be a big target with people losing Lamar, people losing Garoppolo. 5 teams on bye. The nice thing about the 5 teams that are on bye is they're not big fantasy contributors. So you got Washington, Green Bay. I don't even know off the top of my head right now who the other ones are. I want to say, but I can look it up. But they're not big people.
They're not right. They're not big names, but like you said, Mike White, he had 4 games last season and only 1 of them were good. And so far he has 2 of them this season, 1 really good one decent one. So I want to
one that's like good enough, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I want more than 19 points out of my quarterback, and that's kind of really what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and if you're struggling like me, who went all position players earlier and then went for a quarterback late, and then you started streaming them because all of your quarterbacks got hurt, Mike White is pretty much all you're left with. And I'm just, fourth quarter, no time left on the clock, Hail Mary, hoping that they could save me, but not when you lose.
Looks like Atlanta's on bye, so no real loss there. Green Bay's on bye. I mean, you're losing Christian Watson, I guess. Chicago, if not for the Fields people, they're going to miss Fields, but that's it. Washington Commanders, not missing much. Maybe Robinson, I guess. Indianapolis Colts, again, you're not missing much. And the New Orleans Saints, again, not missing much.
Which is sad because the number 1 pick was from the Colts, and it's like, all right, you lost a little bit.
I mean, I guess Taylor owners would like to have Taylor, but I mean, he's not going huge. I don't think you're going to lose anything. Tua, we don't know about yet, or at least I haven't seen a definitive answer if he was going to be out or not. But yeah, that would be another hit. I'm sorry if you took that up.
Did you know that Baker Mayfield scored 5.34 points less than Deshaun Watson, worth $230 million?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot you can do that with a lot of quarterbacks. Rob says, here I go. I'm going to put in Wilson. Yeah. Exactly.
But Baker Mayfield scored 0.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's going to get to play.
Brock Purdy in San Francisco, he looked good.
But I'm not saying I'm not saying no to Brock Purdy. What I'm saying is you don't know. And that's the thing. Like nobody knows. I mean, he came in, he filled, there's going to be no tape on him, Mr. Relevant. And that's always nice. not to have tape. That usually will buy you a week or two at least. It's bought, you know, people like Heineke, last year and stuff, not having any tape. There are definitely situations. So I'm not saying no. I'm just not willing to put my neck out on the line for Brock Purdy. But yeah, take a shot at him, stream him. I mean, why not? Especially in a two QB super flex league. Yeah, I'll take Brock Purdy. Why not? He's got massive weapons. Granted, CMC is a little banged up right now, but they're still running a committee, and you got Debo and that defense. Why not? Yeah, sure.
Did you think the Rams took Mayfield so San Francisco wouldn't get him? I think Purdy is set in. He'll be fine. He'll be better off.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a little strategy there, possibly, but I mean, the Rams had nobody. I did tweet out that the Rams went from no quarterback to Baker Mayfield downgrade. But
you dirty dog, you.
What do you want?
You know what? It was a good pickup. It'll be a great backup to Stafford when he comes back next year, if they keep him around. It's really like,
if they
what
keep
are you going to do for
the
last 5 weeks? Like, it doesn't make sense. But
that's just in. Baker Mayfield got a 4-week contract with the Rams. With a termination clause that can end.
Shout out to Dakota Nix for his favorite college football quarterback, and now he's on whose house? Rams house.
It is. I bet. Yeah,
I bet you he's fired up. So I mean,
I bet he's so fired up.
Oh,
he's got to be.
Yeah. So shout out to
That's
that guy.
Insane. Do you guys got a waiver pick out there that you're looking at? You guys think someone is a good waiver pick? Is not a good waiver pick? Let us know. I write the devil's advocate that kind of looks at all the big picks, all the big names that you see on everybody's site, and kind of breaks down if they're actually a good pick or not. Look for that out there on our Facebook page, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's slim pickings. It's supposed to be. It's the end of the year. All the good guys are supposed to be picked up. Even injury wise, Walker goes down. It's kind of funny that Walker got hurt. And that's why he was on everybody's team, is because the guy in front of him got hurt. But I will say, I personally don't think Walker's going to miss any games. So I definitely wouldn't. And both those running backs combined for, I think, 57 yards. DJ Dallas already has ankle injury to deal with of his own. So don't expect a lot out of the Seattle running game, even if Walker doesn't play.
Yeah, Walker's a great running back. I really like him. I hope to get him next year. It's sad that he, is getting injured. There's just a lot of injuries popping up everywhere, and you're really looking at second, third practice squad guys sometimes throughout the season, and you just got to be ready. You just got that one roster spot for him. It's kind of a bummer to have him kind of pop up like that. And OBJ in Dallas. I read somewhere today that, is he going to be really ready for January? That's what they were concerned about, even though they had something like all those workout videos and whatnot. I think there's nothing wrong with it. Always, but he also is looking for a multi-year deal. Do you want that coming in the middle of your locker room?
I don't see how you give OBJ a multi-year deal regardless. I mean, I guess you can give it to him if there's an exit clause, as long as you can terminate it, which of course I highly expect Jones would do. Of course, OBJ would like to be in Dallas. Dallas has a great shot this year of making a run, and that's what he did last year. He hedged his bets on the Rams and got himself a ring out of it. He's just trying to get another one. And sure, OBJ in Dallas, why not? All signs seem to be kind of pointing that way anyway. I think the Giants might still be in the running, but I mean, honestly, if you were OBJ, where would you go? You're going to Dallas this year. That's where I would.
Right. I mean, you would kind of, or
out of the teams that want him.
Right. Yeah. But like, great question, Rob. Unfortunately, he won't be good for fantasy this year. No, he's going to take a few weeks to get caught up to anything. So it's better for actual real playoffs of the NFL. Yeah. And I'm okay with him chasing the ring.
I agree. Even if, yeah, I mean, even if he gets on the team, he's not going to, do anything big. Exactly. Michael Gallup coming up on a lot of waiver polls. Michael Gallup gets 2 touchdowns and like 23 yards. So one of those guys, the red zone targets paid off. I don't think he converts every week like that. textbook boomer bust guy. He's wide receiver too, but like we said last week, he's still the fourth look on the progression chart. So, do what you will with Gallup.
Yeah, Gallup's a great player. Just it would be crowded there, and if you do have any Dallas fan player type in your lineup and OBJ comes over, you're safe for a few weeks, but he will chip in a little bit maybe at the end of the playoffs if he shows up this week, because I know he was supposed to go to a couple teams over the weekend, somebody at Monday, but I imagine we'll be hearing something soon. But I don't think
we're thinking the next week or two.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is not somebody who's like, hey, OBJ, here's a multi-year deal. I mean, he took a long time to give Dak something, and Dak played his heart out. And Zeke, he already gave a lot of money to solid players that were already on his team to come from the outside and come in and get a contract.
You're not going to hurt your cap space for OBJ. Like you'll
right.
sign him if you got the money to do it.
Listen, if Gallup goes down or something this week, OBJ is going.
You know what I mean? Sign the next day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but let's just temper the expectations.
There it is. Yeah, no, I mean that's you're absolutely right.
Stay safe, stay healthy, but
Peoples Jones, I like him. The potential again caught all three of his targets, but Amari Cooper had 9 targets. So
but didn't he get a touchdown off of a kick return?
Yeah, he had the punt return, I think is what it was. Yeah, he had a punt return touchdown. So if your league scores for that, and they should, if they're not, I don't know.
Yeah, you got a whole 6 points for probably 80 yards.
Yeah, got something else. Well, we knew there was going to be some rust on Watson. Everybody kind of knew that.
There was a lot of rust in that dumpster fire.
It's just a matter as if he can shake it off. Look, you don't play football for 2 years. This is NFL level. You don't play NFL football for 2 years. Too much massaging behind the line. That's a
oh God, where was that thing? I saw something on Facebook. It was like he went, I don't know, 7 for 14 for
like 17 massages, no lawsuits.
17 massages, no lawsuits. I thought that was really funny. Sorry, Deshaun. That's just you got to deal with it for the next year or two.
Rob, that's a blow below the belt, if you will.
But no, he's right. See. I think Deshaun. I wanted to pick him up. Rob, by the way, I've been eyeing him for a long time in our league, and I had 3 good quarterbacks. I didn't know what to do, and then the surprise of everybody, Mr. Chicago quarterback gets hurt, and I'm like, after all these great games, I'm like, do I drop him and get Deshaun? Is Deshaun going to be good? I wanted to so badly, and then you picked him up. Congratulations, but man, that sucks for you now, but I appreciate it. The one thing that went right is I didn't get Deshaun Watson last week.
It's a good friend. That's a good friend. You took
good friend. Thanks for that. Thanks for the
Deshaun for you.
For the team. Appreciate that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're not working too hard.
Clearly not. He grabbed Deshaun Watson. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Rob. We love you. Full 5 points. That's it. Boom. Maybe you'll get
5.34, Rob.
Yeah.
0.34.
Fractions matter.
It has happened in multiple cases this season.
I've got hit twice. Well, I've been on both ends. I won one and lost one.
Oh, okay. That's always exciting. I don't like winning that way. I don't like losing that way. I want to get completely blown out. Or just just no chance, but I don't like those close ones. I don't like it at all. It's so stressful for me.
I know. No,
my blood sugar's low already. The heart doesn't take it well. It's a rough weekend for me.
You're already falling apart. So
I really am. I mean, when my wrist is back working, everything.
NFL players give Roop a break and let's just do it.
I had to go to work and type and use a pen while you guys are getting drilled and laid out and tackled
for millions of dollars. Yeah. Would you take a hit from TJ Watt for $1 million?
I would take.
You're in pads. I mean, this is like a full. Yeah, I would totally.
And I would take and Garrett Wilson at the same time. I don't care. And the guy from San Francisco and the guy from LA, all 4 of them. Boom. Oh, 1.7 million right there. Oh, exactly. Worth it.
I'd take league minimum. I'd take league minimum for that.
What is that? 800K?
Something. Yeah, I think it's 800 now. I think it's up to 800
for third string bench. Yeah, I'll take it
for a few broken ribs and I would like, if it's possible, I would like to get like the NFL medical treatment, whatever, soccer spray injection drug cocktail they get.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that
I would
also.
like that as part of the deal. I will take the hit, but I would like NFL treatment. But maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Let me call your kid.
Garrett Miles.
Garrett Miles, I'll be in his front yard for Halloween. That's right. Let's see. So again, if you guys got any waiver questions, you got any waiver ideas, thoughts, shouldn't I, place, start, sits, all that stuff, of course we answer all those things. We do the research, we give you the real answers. Moving through that, like I said, keep sending your questions. Let's talk a little bit about college, and hold on. Before we get into the college, let's talk about the trenches, because we got to talk about the trenches. Trenches are in the playoffs, and that means teams are going home. Last week, 2 teams went home. This week, 2 teams go home. Can't tell you who yet. Catch a show on Thursday. Yeah. But 2 more teams go home. We're down to 8, which means if you lose, you have a 50% chance going home. The 2 lowest scoring losing teams go home. Winning, you're in, but if you lose, you're up for elimination. The 2 teams that score the lowest get sent home. So this week, 50% chance of going home if you lose. Next week, 66% chance if you go home. And it just keeps getting worse from there, because I think after the 66% chance, I think if you lose, you go home. So
technically, yeah.
I mean, that's
final
that's
4.
it.
You lose, you go home.
Yeah,
I hope it's a really good game breaker, by the way, on that one. So
that's going to be the thing. Yeah, that one's going to definitely come down to the game breaker. This game breaker, you get any kicker points tripled, any kickers on your roster, their points get tripled, and 1 non-QB player, which I guess stands to reason anywhere on your roster as well, I guess. There's nothing that says not. So I guess if the kickers are anywhere on your roster, then I guess the non-QB player can be anywhere on your roster too. So it's a good opportunity to get an extra guy tripled up, or it might make more sense to triple up a stud on your bench. I guess you're gonna have to make that decision.
Yeah, that'll be an easy call for me. I'd like to see what they do to just to hang around one more week. But I want to talk about our picks from last week. I was going to just name them all off and stuff like that. It doesn't matter who won what. What does matter is the 2 teams that you chose.
Are you talking about for the week?
Yeah, for the week of all the games we chose.
Yeah,
we'd like
we
to
have
run
been
down
doing
who wins.
We have been doing that. Yeah.
You won. You picked the Bills over the Pats and the Niners over Miami. I was the opposite. The rest of them don't matter who won, lost. But you are 2 wins up against me for last week. So great job, sir. You picked.
Thank you.
The 2 other ones that I did. So you're
the
up
thing with pulling this up. There was a lot of people. I was listening to I listen to sports shows, and I watch all the different podcasts and whatever. A lot of action, if you will, prop bets, etc., that had Miami over San Francisco. And I was really surprised just how confident people were about that, to include yourself. And I know Miami's firing on cylinders, and stuff like that. But I was really surprised to see that.
Yeah, I it could have been either or, but
I mean, it wasn't, expected to be a good game. It didn't turn out that way. Surprisingly, but it doesn't.
The Niners against Miami, who's winning?
Well, let's see. We'll get there.
I think it probably is because Miami, they already played, but would you still pick Niners?
Oh, like it was Niners and Miami again? I was okay, I get it. So Brock play that game again with Purdy in the whole time. Yeah, of course you're going to pick Miami, because you don't know what Purdy's going to do.
But Purdy was not a disappointment.
If you listen to the what we were talking about earlier, when you have a new guy come in like that, you have no tape on them, and so a lot of times they can be successful if they have a skill set. which you wouldn't think that Purdy would be a Mr. Relevant, last pick of the NFL draft. But yeah, there you go. He comes in and boom, who took Tampa Bay over New Orleans at 30 seconds in the game? Yeah, exactly. But I think, yeah.
You know what? Now's the time to bet against Tom Brady. Like, I feel like I've been let down enough this year that Tampa Bay and the Bucks are just a
the thing was,
fire. I don't want to say
I heard
dumpster
him.
fire.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of great talent. Yeah.
I heard the coach saying in the locker room after the game that this is the first time Tampa has swept New Orleans since 2016. So you're not really expecting. I was expecting New Orleans to win both those games, to be perfectly honest, and didn't happen. So there you go. Yeah, well, Brady finally pulled a Brady and pulls it out. So we can get into college. Thursday night.
Are we gonna pick the NFL games?
Yeah, first? That's what I'm doing. No, that's what I'm saying. Before we get to college, we got to pick these games.
Oh, gotcha. I wrote them down too. I already have my picks, and I'm ready.
Thursday night, we got Raiders at the Rams. I don't know if Baker will play yet. That's a Thursday game. I wouldn't think so. Yeah,
he doesn't. He's not even fitted yet for a helmet and pads and pants. He'll be fine.
Make his helmet really big. Raiders at Rams.
Who you got?
Raiders. I'm taking Raiders. Devontae Adams. Rams are dumpster fire.
Yeah, you know who lost this week? So me. All 5. Who had Devontae Adams? Me. 40 points, and I still lost.
Wow, you suck.
I'm taking Rams because of
it. There you go. Ravens. Lamar Jackson list most likely. Ravens. Tyler Huntley coming in against the Steelers. Steelers. If you read the Devil's Advocate, you will know this. The Steelers are number 2 in the league for interceptions. They allow only 188 yards all year to running quarterbacks, which is good enough for 9th, I believe, tied. So it's actually like tied for 6th or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, Ravens at Steelers.
Yeah, I think you hope they tie. You know what? I'm gonna go with. I hope it's a snow game. I haven't checked the weather, by the way. It could be a beautiful day. I'm gonna go Steelers. Take that one because I know you're picking Steelers because
I'm taking my Steelers. This is going to be a fun one. Vikings at Lions. Vikings offense firing all cylinders. Vikings defense horrible against the pass. Jared Goff has St. Brown. He's got Chark back. He's got Williams. And he threw for almost 300 yards last week. This one's going to be fun. It's going to be hard to call. It is Vikings at Lions. Who you got?
A dome to dome. No weather. Vikings.
Yeah, I'm taking Vikings. They're 10-2 for a reason, but I think it's going to be fun to watch. I say play everybody. Yeah. I say play everyone. Yeah, everybody plays on this.
Come on, Jefferson.
Yeah,
big time. Do an Adams.
Let's
Rob
see.
is going Lions.
Wow,
Rob, we're going to talk after this.
Good for you, Rob. Good for you, Rob.
Yeah, let's talk after this. I need a side bet.
Hey, someone has to be wrong. Jaguars at Texans.
Is that a game?
Jags. Yeah. No, they're actually going to play it. I'll take
on TV. Wait.
Yeah.
Jags at who?
At the Tennessee guys.
Oh,
with Henry. Okay. With the Henry guy.
I thought you said
wow. Henry and everybody else. It's
I think I heard Texans. I could be wrong. I might be still a little sick. Got something in my ear.
The Jags versus Henry's team.
Henry, you dirty dog, you did me terrible. I'm taking the Jags. I hope they destroy you.
I am still taking.
I'm not bitter at all. I'm not bitter.
No.
Everything's fine. Jags.
I do think the Jags could win this game, but the Jags defense is horrible. So I'm taking the Titans. Eagles. This should be a good one too. Eagles at Giants.
Eagles.
Yeah, I got to take the Eagles.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we're hearing things over here. You're taking Eagles? What?
Yeah. Oh, come
on.
Jets at Bills. Oh, Mike White, the talk of the league. Jesus. Bills. Yeah, that's a Bills win. It's a Bills win. Browns at Bengals.
Bengals. Browns suck.
Gotta take the Bungles on that one. Let's see. I'll give Rob a chance. There, he took Bills.
I know Rob is going to take.
Rob also took the Eagles. He's going to take the Bungles also.
No, he's going to take the Browns. He's a Browns fan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We used to be buds with Browns.
The Battle of Ohio.
Oh, he took. Oh, he's playing for money now. He's playing for blood. I like it. I know it hurt for him to say that. I know it hurt.
It did.
I got you. It's okay.
Texans at Cowboys next.
Cowboys, yeah.
Chiefs at Broncos.
Chiefs. What is Wilson doing over there at the Broncos?
Yeah,
nothing. That's not.
Vegas
odds right now. You're doing all the other ones, but
here we are. This could be interesting. Maybe. I don't know. Buccaneers at 49ers. Because of the Purdy factor, this could actually be an interesting game.
So who you got?
Offense wins games, defense wins championships. I'm going Niners. Although I think Tampa's defense is definitely streamable.
So interesting. You're not going to go the other way. Yeah, I mean, I got 49ers.
Yeah. The Buccaneers defense could be streamable. Purdy in there. Could get annihilated because they don't have any tape on the guy. Rob's taking Tampa. Panthers at Seahawks in a game no one cares about.
Seahawks. Gino's going to take it down, baby.
Now, here's a good one. There's a reason this is the night game. I think this got flexed to the night game. I'm not sure. Dolphins at Chargers. That's a good one.
That was your cue yeah.
Dolphins at Chargers. It's at Chargers. Let me see what Rob says here. Dolphins at Chargers. I mean, I obviously
Rob choose this one first.
I want Eckler to, obviously fly off the handle, but
kind of like he did last week.
I don't know. Is Waddles, I don't know how long Waddle's going to be out for. Chargers, Tua's going to be. That's the thing. Okay, good point. Is Tua in? Tua's out. Tua's in. I'll say Dolphins. Tua's out. I'll take the Chargers. There you go. Can you do that? I don't know if you can do that.
I don't know if you can do that. I was gonna go.
Chargers are actually heating up.
No. Fuck the Chargers and that no-name QB that I took way too early in the draft, who has screwed me every single week with his average 25 points. He is still down by 7 and still can't pass the ball all the way down the field. He can't even dump it off to Eckler to give you 10 points last week, whatever it was. Well, maybe it was the week before. I don't know. I'm so mad at Herbert. It's not even funny. He destroyed me twice last season in the same league, and he's killed me all this season. I was like, you know what? I want that guy on my roster next year. Here it is.
Underperforming.
And you know what? You know what's worse is he was, I think, QB 6 last week. I haven't checked what it is this week.
He had a great week. He had a great
week. He's still like top 5, top 10, and it's killing me. So I'm hoping Dolphins destroy him, and he has to throw for 1,000 yards. Sorry,
Herbert goes QB8.
I'm angry. I'm angry this week. I didn't win.
I can't tell. And then Monday Night Football, Patriots at Cardinals. I hope you don't need a Monday Night Miracle next week, because unless you have Hopkins, you're not getting one. I'll take I gotta pick one of these. Patriots, Cardinals. At Cardinals, I'll take Cardinals. Why not?
I'm taking Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Marquise Brown should be fully healthy and back. There's too much firepower.
That's a good point. Yeah. I forgot about that team. Well, he's taking Arizona. Okay. So that's your NFL matchups for week 14.
NFL.
Boom. And that's gonna move us into college chaos. It's been crazy. It got crazy. Because we had the selection show. We're definitely going to talk about it. Obviously, I know everybody wants to know what I have to say about it. But
we'll save the selection show for the last part, because it's pretty simple. Before that, we went 4 for 2, so we got 4 of the picks right. We lost the two.
Who did we get?
Upsets. We were right about Georgia over LSU, obviously. Yeah, right about Tulane over UCF. Right about Michigan walking through Purdue. That was not a question.
We did not want that to happen, but I didn't want that to happen.
And Clemson over North Carolina. We all knew those were going to happen. The 2 questions were TCU and Kansas State over USC and Utah. And those ones were the 2 question marks. And of course,
TCU loses in overtime,
which was
so
a
we
great
almost
game.
had that one. It was a great game.
And Duggan, QB of TCU, came out swinging. The dude had heart surgery before the season started, and the dude is like putting everything on the line. That's what I love to see. I love to see them in the playoffs just because of his effort. I love to see him in the Final Four of Heisman voting. I don't know if he'll get it, but it's not just that he has skill, he has heart, and I love heart on a team. So hats off to him, and I hope I'm going for them to beat Michigan. I don't know if it's going to happen because Michigan is a dominant team, but
Michigan's tough, and Michigan.
I could see Michigan winning this year.
Would be a tough out.
But if Duggan can pull it off, the dude just needs to go to the draft. Like just the way it is. But just my fingers crossed, TCU. I'm hoping you win this week. But
Utah does come over USC.
All over.
Was kind of cool. Yeah, that was good job.
Nailed it. Sorry about that. They really, it was really close up until the end, and then it just got out of hand. Like if you look at the final score, and then you look at the score, like was it 5 or 10 minutes into the fourth quarter, completely different. So it
was kind of the same thing with the Ohio State Michigan game. It was
right,
decent. Michigan, there was definitely a swing, but Ohio State wasn't out of it until like the last 4 minutes, and then they bust off those 2 runs and it's over. But a lot of people trying to say, give Michigan a little more credit, but I'm not trying to take anything away from Michigan. Michigan really did turn around. Ohio State dominated the first quarter and a half, and then it all started falling apart slowly and surely. Michigan earned that win, and good for them to be number 2. Because like you said, I think they do have a legitimate shot at winning the whole thing. The funny thing is, in order to win the whole thing, we have to have a game rematch. We have to have Ohio State and Michigan play each other again, because of course Ohio State's going to beat Alabama. That's just go ahead and hashtag write that down. Alabama, but Georgia.
Georgia. You know what? I'm actually going for Ohio State against Georgia.
Obviously, I'm pulling for it. Alabama matched up better. Alabama is a better matchup for Georgia. I understand why Ohio State got in. Based on the criteria that we have set forth, the parameters and stuff like that of what gets a team in and what doesn't. I totally understand why Ohio State gets in. It was the right decision. I'm not saying that Alabama should have been in. I'm simply saying that Alabama matched up better with Georgia than Ohio State. Obviously, I'm still pulling for Ohio State. Any team can win. I think Ohio State can definitely win this game. Keys to the game. I think Ohio State needs to go just full on offense, just like no holds barred. And I think their defense just needs to take risks. They need to have DBs jumping routes, not worrying about if Georgia scores, not worrying about trying to make the big stand, just going lights out. DBs trying to jump routes, and blitz, and just freaking give up the big plays, don't care, because your offense is going to come out and score. But I think it's all on the offense for this game. I don't think you need to put the pressure on the defense. Let the defense just freaking go crazy and see what they can do. Maybe, see what picks they can come up with, fumbles they can force, what stops they might make. But I really think that it's going to be up to the Ohio State's offense to win this game.
Yeah, the Ohio State Buckeyes against the NFL Georgia Bulldogs. Great team. So I'm really looking forward to the game. Both of them will be exciting for me because I am rooting for the underdog, if you will, for both sides. So I'm excited for that. I don't know if it would happen. It would be really strange if it did, but I'm also understand that I can be let down. The selection committee for the top 4 had no work to do because there were only 4 teams with 1 loss or less, and those were the ones getting. No 2-loss team has ever made it in, and still to this day, it hasn't happened. So we have 1 more year to prove that wrong, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then after that, boom, 12 teams. That's when the arguments are going to kick up. In 2 years, come back, we'll get fired up because there's going to be some problems in the selection committee. And then they could finally get 3 SEC teams in like they wanted.
They'll get 3 SEC teams.
For
They'll
sure.
figure out a way to do
Still, yeah. It doesn't matter if you're an SEC team who loses the elite quarterback and think you're still in it. Sorry, you lose your starting quarterback, you're going to drop more than a couple spots. And I sorry, Tennessee, but you shouldn't have thrown that goalpost in the water. Like I said last week, shouldn't have done that.
They and the thing with Georgia, look, I mean, Georgia has a resume as well. It's not like Georgia just walked in. Look, they played LSU. They played excuse me, they played Tennessee. They played, Auburn. Not that Auburn is a fantastic team, but Auburn is that team in that conference that can take you down. I'm not, saying
they're known for those little upsets.
Yeah, and they played Oregon. They played teams. I'm saying they beat like 5 ranked opponents, but I mean that's as good as anybody else who's in there. That's as good as anybody else played this year. It's obviously a better resume than Alabama. It's as good as Ohio State's, is as good as Michigan's, and you can argue about the caliber of the matchups there all day, but they deserve to be there, not just because they went undefeated, but I mean they played a good season, and coming out undefeated on the other side was hard, not easy for them to do. So
that's true.
Congratulations to the Bulldogs. I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to finish out, because I don't think you're ready for the fire that the Buckeyes are coming in with. They're mad, they're hungry, and a lot of people don't think they deserve to be there. Last time that happened, that we did not win the Big Ten and still got in the playoffs.
They ended up winning 2014.
TCU, on the other hand, again, has a fantastic resume. Yes, they lost to Kansas State week 1. It was 31-28 again. I'm sorry, that was this week. My bad. But that was in overtime, and that's why they get in, because they lost in overtime to a top 10 ranked team, as they should, as any team should. They beat a ranked Texas. They beat They beat Kansas State earlier in the season. They beat Oklahoma State. They beat Kansas. They beat Oklahoma, who was ranked at the time that they played them. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 ranked games. I would be willing to bet nobody else had to play 6 ranked teams this year.
It's pretty slim pickings.
Yeah,
but I'll have a question for Rob later here in a little bit because of the picks this week. But yeah, when we can get a little bit more into the playoff selection committee and even bowl games coming up, we will choose those.
We will talk about
weeks. But this week only, it's the Army versus Navy game. It's basically, it's almost like you can just no ends, AVYs in my vocabulary as I stutter over the name, because I'm obviously going Army this week.
Obviously.
That's where I'm going. Rob, are you going Army, Navy? I mean, you can go Air Force if you want. I don't know if they're going to get a W this week. I mean, they're not going to lose this week. Air Force, but
counts for something.
Yeah. So we'll see what Rob comes up with. I'm going Army. Chris, what are you going?
Obviously, I'm going Army. Even if Army showed up with 5 players, I would still pick Army.
I would still be in this crowd losing my voice for sure.
That's right, 100%.
But
no, I really do believe that Army will win this game too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Navy's 4-7, Army's 5-6. It's not, you're not going to see a fantastic game. Navy's quarterback has 787 yards and 5 touchdowns on the entire year. The running back almost has as many yards on the ground as the quarterback has through the air, and actually has more touchdowns. So there you go.
So this is gonna be a fast game because both these teams just run and offensive line push, and the clock's gonna be running a lot. So
it's always kind of a fun one to watch. I mean,
it's
recruits are all out there acting like idiots and getting in trouble for it, and everybody's dressed up in the little pea coats and all that, and it's fun. It's been, there have been some exciting Navy games.
What pea coats? Like to just
Yeah.
pee in them? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're so long, so that you can just pee in them.
I'm game. I mean, sometimes it's cold. I just can we get a blizzard game this year? Because the Bills
The last time they did that, it was really good.
Oh, it was so much
I think
fun.
it went to it was either overtime or last seconds, whatever. I remember where I was at. And yeah, it was that was a good game.
I just want a blizzard game. Like I feel like it's coming. I want that soon. But there's no real big storms coming lately, and at least not on game days. But
well, the NFL robbed us of our blizzard game this year, and to be fair, it was pretty epic snowstorm, so I get it.
Yeah.
But they robbed us of
there was snow up to here.
Snow game so
like
far.
right here somewhere. So
there's still season left, but we better get our snow game because I'm gonna be real mad.
That or a white. I'll take no snow games, and I'll take a white Christmas.
Okay. I'll take that. I mean,
I had a white New Year's last time.
I'm in South Carolina, so
yeah,
I'll take the white Christmas for sure.
You have a better chance of a hurricane than a space
force. No, hurricane season's over.
Yeah, so is tornado season, but the most tornadoes last year was in October. So when tornado season's mostly May. So there's that. Yeah, he's taking Air Force.
Have you actually got to I know you went to college for it and all that stuff. You actually got to see a tornado? Like close enough, you know what I mean?
I have been storm chasing several times. I have been in front of a tornado right in front of me on radar, says it's there, and winds are going crazy. I had to park my vehicle next to the side of a Walmart or something. It was terrible. I got a flat tire right in front of one, and I was like, well, I got to change my tire. There's nothing I can do. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And it dissipated, and it was rain wrapped, and I didn't get to see it. Unfortunately, so the best I've seen, it's total horse shit. I have not seen one in real life, and I don't chase anymore. I don't even go, because if there's anything around a city, just traffic gets locked up and it's not safe anymore. Like just because everybody's like, oh, I want to see. So you got to be like out in the middle of nowhere where it's kind of safe. There's not much debris.
Well, yeah, like on the shows and stuff.
Yeah,
out in corn country.
So I'd love to do that. I just haven't lately.
I've been within about 500 yards of one.
You saw it?
No, it was nighttime, and I didn't get to see
that's even
anything.
That's scary. Yeah,
it was scary, and for somebody who's not used to it, and I pulled off the side of the road and hung out in a rental car place, and those guys, they couldn't give a rip. They had the shuttle go into the airport. They had people. I came in. I'm like, yeah, I guess there's a freaking tornado like at the airport right now. And that was the thing. I was driving out. It was middle of the night. The weather's bad, and they come across the thing that there's a tornado at the airport just as I pass the sign that says airport next exit. So I'm like, oh God, what the hell? So I pulled off on the side of the road, ran to this rental car place, and the guy's like, oh, I told him, I said, I guess there's a tornado at the airport. And he's like, oh, really? We just, our shuttle's over there, and calls him whatever. Hey, Bill, just, I guess a guy came in and said there's a tornado at the airport. And he's like, yeah, I see it down there at the end of the runway. I just kind of parked off to the side. I'll wait for it to go away, and then I'll be back. And I was like, okay. It's like, they couldn't have given a rip. I'm like freaking out. They didn't.
Oh, no. Are you kidding? The last tornado we had nearby.
East Texas.
Yeah. The wife was like in the tornado shelter. I got the dogs down there. Everything's good. And this is me at the tornado shelter, like looking for it. Wait, yeah. I was like, come on, let's see it. And because I was going to record real quick and then shut it. I don't make good decisions when it comes to weather. I out there running barefoot in pouring rain and lightning and hail. So Rob, when you saw the tornado in Moore, did it no cell service, just kind of went away, huh? Is that what that is? I don't know. Sometimes I don't get good reception at the house anyway. So what was that? Yes, Mayish. Yeah, probably. I was a little warm down there. But
well, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about weather all day long, but we need a tornado.
This is where the show has gone. This is what happens when Baker Mayfield gets traded to the Rams. We got to talk about weather.
Yeah, like the tornado of chaos.
Deshaun Watson is back. Baker Mayfield goes to the Rams. Let's talk about tornadoes. Let's talk about something interesting because that's about all that's going to happen there. Hey, thanks for joining us. If you stopped in, thanks for watching us. If you're watching us later, tune into the trenches. Again, teams are going home. We're down to 8. Next week, we're going to be down to 6. Watch the show on Thursday to see which 2 teams went home. You might be surprised. And college chaos, we'll get more into it as we get closer to these bowl games. We'll do Heisman predictions and all that stuff. And every week, of course, we'll talk about the waivers, do's and don'ts, players to start and sit. Check out the Devil's Advocate. It'll be on our Facebook page. It's on truthserumfootball.com as well, where I break down all the big waiver choices and the people everybody's telling you to get and tell you it's actually a good idea. Usually it's not this late in the season anyway. Good luck on this week. I hope you make your fantasy playoffs. You should be lined up for it. Roop, there it is. Give us the final thoughts there.
I do have one question though. You said and all this beautiful rambling that you do, which is phenomenal, by the way. I mean, you got it down to it. It's perfect.
King of filler.
But yeah. When's the Heisman ceremony? Isn't it soon?
I thought they didn't do it till later.
I thought it's like next weekend. I don't know.
Is it really next weekend?
But got CJ Stroud,
next week.
Williams, Caleb
Not
Williams.
Get it. Definitely could get
it. Hubbard. No, Hubbard. Why am I thinking Hubbard? Max Duggan, and then the other Heisman winner is the Georgia defense, I think.
What it is?
I mean the Georgia QB because he's undefeated.
I know what you meant. Yeah, Caleb Williams, Stroud, Duggan, and Georgians Stetson Bennett. He could win it too, especially
Stetson Bennett's out, CJ Stroud's out. It's Duggan and Williams is the only two.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Probably gonna be Williams. It's probably gonna be Williams. It's December 31st. That's what I thought.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, no, that's when they play. First all quarterback group since 2018. When the finalists were Kyler Murray, Tua, and Haskins. Last year's winner, of course, was Bryce Young, is not in consideration on Saturday at 8 p.m. in New York City. So, yeah, it's this Saturday. So, I guess we kind of need to make a prediction. Who's going to win it? I guess we kind of just did.
Well, I mean,
but
the most
Caleb.
Okay.
I'm going Caleb Williams. I'm going Caleb Williams.
I think Caleb Williams is going to take it. That it takes nothing away from Max Duggan. He 100% has the heart and loses and wins with class. And I could see either of those two taking it, and it's really exciting. If Caleb Williams gets the Heisman, go to the NFL. Don't wait. I know it's education. Fucking leave. You're going to be first round.
We've got a couple minutes here, so let's look, man.
If Duggan gets it, go to the NFL. I mean, just saying, but I don't know. He's not a senior. No, I know, and I know Caleb's he'll be a junior next year.
Just
because I know that I'm not going to say
Caleb Williams is the front runner. 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. That's really good. That's really good. 372 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns as a sophomore. First season with the Trojans. Following Lincoln Riley to USC. So is that kind of are you leaning that way because of that as well? Is there some there?
I just he put it all online. Even the last game when he had a pulled hamstring or something, he put it out on the line, just kept running, and saved something for a little bit of time, and then just Utah took it over. But if I really think about it, Caleb Williams is deserving of it. He looks the best out there. He took a 5, 6, 7 loss USC team, new coach, new team, new players. People followed him. People transferred to him. I mean, that says
here's the
something.
thing. Well, here's the thing. So, I mean, and this is to me why it's kind of a runaway in my opinion. He's got 600, almost 700 more yards than everybody else. he is second in touchdowns. He had 35. Stroud had 37. All three of them, Stroud and Stetson had 6 interceptions. Duggan and Williams only had 4. But the rush yards also, again, 363 for Caleb Williams, and Duggan had 404. So, you can see why Duggan is in the conversation. But again, they both, Duggan had more rush yards. They both only had 4 interceptions. 35 touchdowns to 30 touchdowns, but Caleb Williams has just under 700 more yards than.
It's kind of hard to give it to Duggan. I mean, you're going off a heart at that point, right? Like who was healthier at the end of the game, who was falling over it of exhaustion.
Duggan's your underdog pick. I mean, a nice Vegas pick. Throw Hundy on him just in case he happens to win. But I'm quite certain that Caleb Williams is definitely the odds-on favorite to win. But we'll see. I mean, stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out afterwards. There's an article which we won't get into about how the Heisman person is not really panned out. We can maybe do that next week. Because next week we'll have a Heisman winner, and so we can kind of look at when winning the Heisman wasn't necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, that's true, but it does get you into the first round $30 million contract. So
it does if you go right after. We'll see if Bryce Young actually gets, and I think he will, but I mean, it depends on when you come out and stuff too. So Bryce Young wins it, comes back, doesn't even get considered for it.
He did get injured. So
he got injured. I mean, he was missing stats.
Yeah,
he was missing stats because he missed the games. And if he hadn't, I think he is there again, and potentially wins it again. But anyway,
don't worry about Rob. Browns will not take anybody. They have $230 million to pay out, so they won't be taking a quarterback. If they, I believe
don't put it past them. Don't put it past.
Yes, that's where I was going.
This is the Browns. Don't put it past.
But they have been making terrible decisions for years.
Because here's the thing: because you still need a backup.
C.J. Stroud to the Browns.
Shut your mouth. Yeah, go ahead, because we know how Ohio State quarterbacks do in the NFL. So yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense.
First of all, somebody over there in Chicago is doing just fine.
He's not.
He pulled a Josh Allen.
He just runs. That's all he does. He can't throw it to anybody.
Yeah, just runs for 60 yards. No, he runs for 174 yards, and you know what? That's good enough for me for playoffs. Please help me and save
that division right now. Sure. Well, he's on bye week, so he's not helping you this week. Again, thanks everybody for joining us. Rob, as always, thanks so much, bud. Aurora, thank you so much as well. Everybody,
both of our fans here tonight, thank you so much.
That's right. Always.
I wish you guys the best in the playoffs. I hope you both win. We're in a couple leagues together, so one of them is probably going to be me. You guys can fight over the other one though, because it's your guys' game. I'm not even. The host and I are not even close.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you and me are like the bottom 2 in that league. That sucks. Yeah. I started off so strong with you. Have a great week, everybody. Happy fantasy football and be safe.